Crabtree BJJ. Going to show you a couple moves, sweeps to a finish from your hook guard series. This is my brother, Amir Killa from Lightning Kicks down in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Check him out at lightningkicks.com. He's going to help me demonstrate some techniques and a series of moves for you, okay guys? So if you're not familiar, we're going to work what we call our hook guard. So you're going to be in your guard here. I want you to control, guys, I want you to control their sleeves, right? I like to use the fingers wrapped to the outside and hook it here, right? Now we're going to go for the hook guard. We want to shrimp out one side, make sure we get a foot on the hip, control our opponent's hips here. We can't let him close this distance. I'm going to be on my right hip because my right foot's on his hip. Take my left foot and I'm going to wrap his arm up, bring it up and over, and the top of my foot goes into his armpit, right? And the other thing that's really important with this, you can't let your opponent drive your knee in. So as I put my foot high into his armpit, I'm lifting with my foot and I'm turning my elbow or my knee out, right? So that keeps him from closing my knees together. Now for the first series or the first set of move we're going to do here, my opponent's going to try to beat my hook guard by standing up, right? So as my opponent stands up, I'm going to take my hook guard that's in his armpit and I'm going to come to his kneecap here, still keeping my knee out. And I want to make sure if my opponent's standing up real high, I want to make sure when I bring this, my hips have to follow him. So I bring him down by hooking his knee and dropping my hips. And this drops his posture. Right? Now the foot that's on his hip, I can let this go and go across. Look guys, I'm going shin to shin. I'm not going behind his foot here. I'm going shin to shin here. All right? And at the same time I bring my foot off his hip, you saw that I relieve some pressure on his hip, so he steps to me. So now I'm going to let go of his arm here, and I'm going to hook his knee. And I'm going to scoop my hips up underneath my opponent and bring him onto my chest, here. Right? And as I do this, I'm bringing my knees into me. Right? Now I want to sweep him, so I'm going to lift his leg up off the ground by straightening my legs out and then doing a sit-up and dumping him on his shoulder. Right? This is key right here. This is just the sweep, but we don't want to stop here. We want to beat him to the next position so we can choke him. The next position, as we're coming over, I'm letting go of this arm here and going, setting across his chest, putting my elbow in his armpit. So I'm here like this, guys. All right, once I'm here, I'm going to start running around his head. I'm going to let go of his leg, start running around his head. And as I do this, I'm trapping this arm here. This prevents him from stopping the choke I'm going to go for now. All right, so as I clear his leg here, I'm trapping his arm, come all the way around here, and trap his arm up on my thigh. So my knee's up under his armpit, my other foot is my base, so I'm not on both knees. We don't want to be on both knees very often, guys. This hand is already grabbing his collar, palm up. So I'm keeping everything down here. I go from here, right across, scrape his chin with my forearm, grab his collar, thumb in, bring my elbow to the mat and do the finish. All right? If this guy's a real tough guy like Amir, I'm going to come here for the choke. My elbow hits the ground and the choke's not working, so I'm going to push his head away with my elbow. All right? And even tough guys like Amir will finally have to tap. So here, across, he's not tapping, push it away. Again, guys, we'll do it a little bit more smooth. Make sure we get the points of interest, okay? Control the sleeves, shrimp out, and immediately get a foot on the hip, controlling my opponent's hip. Remember, guys, in Jiu-Jitsu, we need a push-pull. So if I'm pulling his arms, I'm pushing his hips away. This is going to create the room for me to get my foot up underneath here, top of my foot, tight into his armpit. Not all the way through. I don't want to give this guy an ankle lock. I want to keep just the top of my toes up underneath his armpit. The next thing I got to worry about is keeping my knee out. So I'm here like this, turning my knee out. Now he's going to try to beat my hook guard by standing up. Again, I'm pushing him away and I'm pulling his arms here, right? Keeping him off balance. Depends on how he stands up, my hips follow. So if he tries to stand up tall, my hips follow. I'm going to take this out and bring it down underneath his knee. And look how I drop my hips. That breaks his posture. Now, foot on the hip, I've created some pressure pushing him away. I'm going to slide my foot off his hip. That's going to let him step into me. And I go across his shin here. Let go of this sleeve, up underneath his knee, and I gotta scoop my hips in and bring my knees to my chest. Now the sweep is made not by sitting up, not by power, just lifting his leg, straightening my legs out. Beat him to this next position. That sets up your choke. Across the chest, elbow into the armpit. All right? Once I'm here, I'm immediately coming back around here as I start around his head. So as I start running around his head now, I'm going to grab his arm, knee to his back, trapping his tricep on my thigh. I got a hold of his gi. This foot's out for my base. From here, choke, choke. One more thing that guys will do to try to beat this is they won't stand up, they'll just plant a foot. All right? Shrimp out, get my hook guard, and they just plant this foot here. Yep. So now I go for the same thing. Underneath his knee, across, up underneath him, bring my knees to my chest. Straighten my legs out, sit up, and beat him to the spot. Start running around, trapping his arm, choke, choke. Okay guys, I hope this helps you guys out. Check out the YouTube channel, check out GRBJJ.net. Thanks to Amir from lightningkicks.com. Check us out, we'll help you guys improve your game. Thanks.